How's it going, everybody? My name is Mia and today's video is going to be an extra fun one. The other day I was going through the Artlist music gallery and I discovered a really cool playlist completely inspired by Wes Anderson. We all know Wes Anderson as the filmmaker who uses symmetry, composition, colors, empty open space, lots of headroom, incredible set design, and beautiful wardrobe. He's created movies such as Moonrise Kingdom, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and much more recently he came out with Asteroid City. He's one of those directors that just have a very unique style, very unique look, and if you see it, you know that's a Wes Anderson movie. The other day, I was going through the Artlist music gallery while I was working on a project, and I stumbled across an entire playlist inspired by Wes Anderson. I will say it's definitely sparked some Wes Anderson inspired ideas, so I decided to challenge myself and pick a couple of songs from this playlist and see if I could recreate a Wes Anderson inspired look and film myself. When it comes to thinking of a film idea, I am always drawn to music. Before we go out to film something, let's go through the Artlist Wes Anderson inspired playlist and see if I can pick a couple songs that I'm more drawn to actually go out and film something. Let's go through it. Let's get it. They even have a Deadpool and Wolverine inspired playlist. Inspired by soccer? Let's go. We got it. We're open. Let's go through the music. While listening to this, I can just envision like a very dramatic wedding disaster. Still a little too slow. Not quite the vibe yet. Kind of cool. It's very laid back. I'm saving this one. This reminds me of playing The Sims 3 while I am in build mode. I like this one too. I'm gonna download it. Maybe one more? Let's download this one too. Alright guys, so it's been about 30 minutes of me looking for a song. I found about 5 or 6 different tracks. An idea that I have for a film is called Laundry Day. I think shooting in a laundromat would be pretty Wes Anderson inspired. I'm also going to keep my setups pretty simple and use an iPhone 15 Pro Max and shoot an Apple ProRes log. But yeah, I can shoot in log and then I can actually add any type of color grade or any film simulations into my footage once I'm back home and editing. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow when I'm out shooting. What I try to do here is achieve a pretty wide shot of my to-do list, and then at the very bottom it says laundry day. And then with that, to show laundry, all I wanted to do is grab this really tight shot, perfectly symmetrical. I feel like Wes Anderson goes from really wide to really close up. Okay, so right now I'm trying to get this quick, fast camera movement where it starts pretty high and then it drops into the coin jar, but I can't do it by myself, so I'm having my friend Jojo help me out.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dreams work. We made it to the laundromat. This is what it looks like. Baby blue, cute and pink. Yeah. Trying to play with the Gorilla Pod right now and grab this really funky tracking shot. We'll see how it works.
So right now Mia is attempting to not break her tripod, which is proving to be difficult. Mia, say hi.
Alright, so I got all the shots that I planned on getting. I feel like it looks so sick on a fisheye. Now it's time to go home and edit and tie in the music, add the sound effects, and let's see what I can do with the footage we shot. And we're back, about to start making this film come to life. But before we fully dive into editing this project, I do want to say a huge thank you to Artlist for sponsoring this video. Artlist is your all-in-one video platform for everything from music, sound effects, footage, and templates for all of your videos. Without further ado, let's keep on editing this video, and I hope you guys enjoy me in the edit grind. I'm gonna go back to one of the main songs that I really like. Alright, let's go ahead and put that into my timeline. I picked this song first because I feel like it has some momentum to it. If you look at the waveforms, start slow and then it's gonna pick up. I've also picked out a couple other songs that are not so dramatic, so I'm expecting that later once this film starts to play out, I'm gonna calm it down a little bit. I'm gonna try to overload it with sound effects to see if I could really just build an entire new world with this.
45 minutes later and a full night's rest.
I basically got an entire rough cut done of this video. Now it's time to level it up by using some sound effects, and I'm going to show you guys how I also color graded this video. Wes Anderson also tends to use a lot of very exaggerated sound effects. So you'll hear like dogs barking, you'll hear birds, and lots of whoosh, like a very animated style of sound production. I've watched my project over and over quite a few times while editing it, so I have a general idea of what stuff I want to be adding to it. Let's start with the first, let's say 10-15 seconds. All right, so right off the bat, I know that I'm gonna need some sound effects of a marker sliding across paper for every single line here, and probably even a drop down onto the table. We have a dollar. Dollars make the paper sound. So I'm also gonna add some like muffling of some paper here. And another cool thing I thought about is coins. We have glass touching glass. I do think like that sound of the coins dropping into my hand would be really cool to add. All right, so that's about the first 18-20 seconds of my project. I could easily spend all day working on some sound design, but let's keep it with the first 20 seconds so that you guys have an idea of how I search for things. So yeah, let's go on to art list, and now let's go through sound effects. That's perfect. Sounds exactly like what a line across the paper is gonna do. So let's download that one. Is it organized student? Boom. When it's not exactly the pace that you need it, all you have to do is retime your audio just a little bit. Cool, it cuts right there. So we're gonna trim that, fade in, fade out, volume down, a little bit lower. I'm gonna delete this and just loop this. So what I do once I know and I'm satisfied with a specific sound effect that I know is going to keep on looping, all I do is hold down Option, boom, and I just added it again. All right, I found quite a few sound effects for some coins inside of my hand. This one sounds like I have a lot. Let's use this one. We'll try it. Perfect. I think that's sick. We added a couple of sound effects. So just in this little bit, I've got 13 different sound effects. Now, some of them I did use over again and I readjusted them just a little bit, but for the most part, we've got great progress and I'm gonna keep on doing this for the rest of the film. But let's just keep on watching what I do have so far. So cute. The little with the little lid closed. All right, progress. Wes Anderson uses a very unique color palette to a lot of his films. He'll use lots of blues and pinks, very beautiful pastel-y light colors. I'm just gonna quickly show you guys how I colored this project. I didn't do anything crazy. I did use a LUT and then I just did some minor adjustments from there. So Wes Anderson uses a lot of warmer colors, and what I did, I threw a phantom LUT over this top adjustment layer. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of a peach hint throughout all of the whites. And then depending on the actual shots, I just made some smaller adjustments within that. You can see I even warmed them up a little bit more. I adjusted some of the color boost depending on how much more color I really wanted to bring in for my shot. Very minor thing, but I did add a little bit more blue to certain shots. Some of the whites were a little bit too overwhelming, so all I did is adjust my tone curves. I brought my highlights a little bit lower, and then same thing is I brought some of my blacks down just so that there's a little bit more contrast. And then I made the same small bluer tint here on certain shots. And again, I adjusted my color temperature all while using the phantom LUT on top. Like I said, I didn't do anything too crazy. Now I was going back and forth between different lenses, and this shot was actually shot on the moment anamorphic lens, but most of the rest was not. So what I did is actually just kind of added the little black bars, I added the letterbox, I recropped every shot so that it hopefully looks a little bit more elevated. Alright, so that's how I color graded the footage, and as you can see, the fonts now are also actually inspired very much by Asteroid City. Wes Anderson's always using a very bold, chunky, bright text, so I decided to go with a little bit of a yellow and red text, just like Asteroid City. That's all. Now, let's go ahead and watch this entire project. We're done. And just like that, we created a Wes Anderson inspired film. A few small announcements is that Moment is hosting their Moment Invitational Film Festival, and you guys have a couple more weeks to submit your films. This is a mobile filmmaking festival, so you have a variety of different categories to submit your films to, as well as tons of awesome prizes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed this, subscribe to Moment, check out all the links in the description. Thank you to Artlist for making this video possible, and we will see you guys soon. Bye!